Hi guys, it's Liam here. Today I'm at Valence House in Dagenham. I've driven down. It's actually one of the last surviving remnants of the original Becontree area before the houses were built all around here in the 1930s. And this house dates back, the moat dates back to 1290, and you can see one of the old field boundaries where the trees run there, and that probably dates back hundreds and hundreds of years. After that, I'm going to check out a abandoned heavy anti-aircraft battery at Chadwell Heath. It's one of the best surviving examples I've actually seen, so fingers crossed we're going to get to see what we want. Catch up with you when we're there. Right, and this strange humanoid wooden figure here is actually the Dagenham idol. It's a very important find that was found in Dagenham in 1922. The statue was dated to around 2250 BC, so it's actually one of the oldest representations of a human being found in Europe that we know of today. So this lake that you can see here was actually the original moat around the Valence House. It dates back to 1290, and it would have obviously been there as a defensive structure basically. Right, so the tree I'm actually standing in right now is actually one of the oldest trees in London. It's called the Holm Oak, and it's next to Valence House, and it's one of the great trees of London. Quite an interesting place, I thought. Really great if you're interested in the history of Dagenham and Barking. Take a look, it's all free. Now we're going to go and check out the abandoned anti-aircraft battery. Should be a bit more hardcore. Looking forward to it. Yeah, fingers crossed we actually managed to get into the place. Right, so I've just managed to park up where the anti-aircraft battery is, well, quite near to it. Unfortunately the GoPro ran out of battery, so I've had to use my mobile phone instead. Hopefully the quality isn't too much worse. We're getting to the battery now, so fingers crossed we're actually going to be able to get inside there. Right, so we made it into the gun site. Here we are. There's quite a bit of graffiti around here, but what's unusual about this battery is it does have 8 rather than 4 gun emplacements, so it's a lot bigger than standard, and a lot of it survives even though it has been vandalised. So you can see this building here I'd imagine this was a magazine or a bomb store, probably. You can see it would have had some big metal doors on there. And inside, you've got a big cutout in the floor, which would have been for a pipeline, I suppose. So that suggests that there would have been some kind of electrical feature to this, which was added to late war guns. I believe the guns went from manual to electronic operation over the war. Also got sort of old pipe down there, all original by the looks of it, so that is quite rare. So this is actually the site of one of the guns. You can see these things around the outside are where they would have put the ammunition. And in the middle you've got the holdfast with these big metal rivets that would have held the gun down. And these were obviously used to defend Britain from, well, German aircraft flying over. Obviously this was quite close to London. And look at this, you've got inside one of the original bomb shelters, you've got these sort of wooden, I'm not sure what they are, but I suppose they're sort of like parts of a rack to store the ammo, probably. And you've also got these sort of metal grids over them, which I can only assume they might be some kind of reinforcement to prevent the structure from collapsing if it was bombed. Obviously these big steel doors are still existing, and I mean, I've never seen all the bits and bobs on an anti-aircraft battery like this before, so you can see why this is quite a historically important site. Right, this here is a magazine building, I believe, and this would have stored, well, it would have been another ammo store, and it's sunken into the ground to prevent the ammunition from making a big explosion, basically, in case it accidentally went off. You can see it dips down in there. It's very overgrown, so I'm not sure we'd get in. You can look over here, get an idea of whatever's down there. It's a very big concrete building, basically, with some brick. Right, so I've made it into one of the magazines. You can see on the left here we've got a massive concrete blast wall to contain the explosion, and on the right we've got the actual building. Looks like it's made out of brick and concrete. Around the corner here, not really sure what that is, there's this very strange looking kind of trunk on the floor. Yeah, don't know what that's there for. Right, not sure what's going to be in here. Look at that. I mean, I don't think the Galaxy is original somehow, but that is actually quite an old leather chest. There's sort of screws, don't know, some sort of Bakelite type material in there. Who knows? In through here, however, we can actually see inside. You can see that a lot of furniture has been fly tipped in there, unfortunately. Always a bit of a shame to see that, really. But it actually looks like a very big building in there. Yeah, quite impressive, to be honest. This building here, not really sure what it is, never seen one of these before. It's a kind of double magazine store of some sort. I mean, it's clearly not very, you know, it's quite a simple building really, just made out of sort of concrete breeze blocks. There's nothing inside it really, so I'd imagine it is just a kind of store building, but yeah, it's pretty big, to be honest. And behind me, we've just got this kind of flat concrete area as if something used to be there. So we came to another magazine next, and it had some very interesting features inside. Inside this building there's some kind of workbench. I don't know if it's some sort of plotting table, not too sure, but it's pretty cool. Great piece of remain. There's these sort of shelves, you can just see those. It's quite an impressive structure really. There's another set of shelves. There's some more. Made out of brick. And then so the final place we actually came across within the battery site was the command post, and these are actually very rare to find still existing on anti-aircraft sites, and they would have actually been where the plotting, observation, radio communication all would have taken place to aim and fire the guns. And this surviving example is excellent. It had underground rooms of all kinds, complete with original paintwork, which you can see in some of the photos here. Really was brilliant find, to be honest. It's a shame that the actual phone even ran out, so I couldn't even film that. So here's some of the photographs. It's quite dark and dingy in there, but very interesting nonetheless. And then next we actually found quite a strange kind of metal object. It actually has the appearance of a kind of seat, and then some kind of tilting top with a lever and a handle. So perhaps that was to do with aiming one of the guns, but more likely perhaps it was something like a searchlight, unless it was of course just dumped here. So guys, I think that's going to conclude the Valence House and Chadwell Heath anti-aircraft battery video for today, but I hope you found it interesting. Shame about it being a bit overgrown, and also about the graffiti, but it's been quite fun nonetheless. If you do find this interesting, check out beyondthepoint.co.uk, where you can see our photos, learn about the history of these places, and also find our HD professional documentaries both on our YouTube channel to subscribe and also on the website. So thanks a lot for watching, and stay tuned for more.